How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Let me get this. Thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry for the delay. Trying to figure this thing out. YouTube switched it up on me, man. When I used to have this podcast, the Barbell Life podcast, it was cake. We had Google Hangouts, and it was wham bam, thank you, man. But they made it hard. I'm sure I know why, but I won't get into that. Save that for another episode. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Good, man.
khpfitness and training.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. So let me just give a little backdrop for anybody. He was a member in my fitness community, the Barbell Life. It was on Facebook. 50,000 members. Big fitness movement. We had shirts, we had stickers, we had calendars, we had the podcast. We were doing some big things.
Supplements too.
Yeah. And then somebody got booted from Facebook, so that's how that went.
Oh man.
But my man was real popular in that group, and one thing that really stood out about him was he was very just very kind to everybody, you know what I'm saying? And, those who aren't really that familiar with the fitness industry, there's a lot of ego, and that's not as common as it should be. A lot of people are, so competitive, and, there's so many haters, they'll be like, you post a picture and you're looking good, you're feeling good, selfie or whatever. And There's always someone who jumps on there. Oh, look at your traps, or look at your legs, or why you posing like that? Always some haters. So we dealt with that as the admin of the group a lot. And I just remember my man was always being, jumping on people's posts, giving them inspiration, good feedback. Even if there's a little post, some guy who's just starting out and he posts a little selfie. My man would get on there and be like, "Hey, good job, brother." And those are things that, stick in your mind. And so we had a good relationship through the Barbell Life.
Yes, we did.
For a few years. And then I moved to Florida, Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral area. And that's a funny story. The first time I met this guy, of all places, I run into him at a health food store. That we were laughing our ass off. I think you came up to me like, "Tony Camper?" I was like,
I did.
I know that deep ass fucking voice. Who is that? Oh shit.
That's true.
But yeah, man, just as kind, just as humble, cool as online, and it was like good energy. And you know how sometimes you meet someone in person after knowing them online and it's kind of awkward. There's that kind of weirdness. Not at all, man. Me and my man were like, "What's up? How you doing?"
Right off the bat.
Yeah. And so we had made plans to hang out. We were gonna go. You were gonna show me what's up with those bands.
I was.
And my dumb ass locked my keys in the apartment, and I had to wait for my girl she was at work. So she had to get off of work. Yeah, she had to get off work and come unlock the door. And I was like, man, it's gonna take a while. We'll have to do this again. And then shortly after that, COVID hit.
You sent me the picture too. Yeah, sent the picture of you outside like.
I'm sitting here outside the door like, wah wah wah.
That was good, man. That was a good thing.
What do you remember about back then, man? As far as the group and meeting up and stuff like that.
Man, so when it came to the group, especially, like you said, it was popping, man. I remember, when I first got into the group, we were only at like, I think 8,000, 10,000.
You came early.
Yeah, it exploded after that, man. It was like some of the big hitters like yourself and Carla Thompson.
Carla.
Yeah, I remember Carla. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she follows me on TikTok too, man.
Oh, okay.
And I just remember like when I was in the group, like you said, I would always just try to root everybody on. Like you always get beginners that start out, and the first thing people like to do is like, "Oh, somebody's not doing their push-ups right," or that's what every group. it's just an immediate like, oh, you got to bring it up. I remember one time I did like a flex, and at this time I didn't have as much mass on my shoulders, and the dude was like,
he's telling lies. Don't listen to that. He's lying. This dude has
I had to
always
make
been
some improvement.
yoked as fuck. He's lying. He's like, oh, I was skinny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Lying.
The dude came at me and was like, bro, you need to do more shoulder raises and this and this. And I told him, I said, bro, that sounds good, but I looked at your profile, and if we stepped on stage right now, I would smoke it. Like now.
It's always the ones who ain't even on your level trying to tell you how to do this, or you got some fat guy on the couch talking about, oh, you need to do that this way or that. It's
immediately. Because they watch some Athlete X videos. They think they experts. So I mean, like, yo, come on. Everything's killing your gains.
Yeah, everything. That shit was so funny. I sent him a video yesterday, and is this guy Athlete X, and he's basically just saying, long story short, everything the guy was trying to do, he's like, oh, this is killing your gains. Oh, you're not getting big because of this. Me and him were just cracking up about that, but a little inside joke. But anyway.
Indeed, man. But yeah, I definitely remember that part of it. But like I said, there was a lot of positivity in there. And like I said, Carla, and they wouldn't let it go. They wouldn't let all that happen. I remember, like, they wouldn't let the nonsense. A lot of people that came with the nonsense got booted right out of there. So it was real good. I got so busy on the side of things, I couldn't even really contribute like I was at the time. And it was a rough time too, man. It was a rough time when that was going on. A lot of it's straightened out now, everything wise, finance wise, client wise, and everything. So it's been a good place. And then I started to really get the YouTube going and just trying to build that up.
Man. I'm one of your biggest fans, brother. I've been watching the evolution of your channel and just your business and all that. And it's like watching, I don't want to say your kid, but it's like watching your child grow and become the person, he's gonna be. Like that's how I feel watching, your channel kind of, you start small, the video quality start getting better, you start having cool intros, change up the logo, you start getting mad clients. I was like, my man is doing his thing.
Yeah, man, I tried my best to step it up, man. I stepped out. I got terminated back from my job in 2019, and when I did, it was like when they put me on the week suspension, HR, all that stuff, it was like that, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Do I got to jump right back in the rabbit hole? All of that. But then when I got the news, I was like, sigh of relief, because I didn't think about it, man. I was like, man, all the morning clients I'm missing out on and all this because I was working overnights.
Oh, so you were doing both.
Yeah, man. So what I was doing, I had I was getting 3 hours of sleep on average because I had my son. I had like 4 or 5 clients, and I worked a 10-hour shift. So it was just back to back until the weekends come. I could get a little bit more sleep. I would knock out for like 10 hours a day and then restart the whole process over for the next 5. It was a rough time, man. Good struggle. Yeah. I came out on the other side of it.
That's what you call a blessing in disguise, brother.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So let me ask you, how long? Let me rewind. When did you start? Like, what got you into fitness to begin with? Like, how'd that start off?
This is a funny story, just because most people that I think they get into fitness, they got like super inspired by somebody to do so. But people would tell me, you should be a trainer. And I was like, nah, like, that ain't for me. I don't know nothing about that stuff, man. I want to teach. Who am I going to teach? But as I noticed one thing, like transferring even over from just customer service, being able to teach people how to handle customers, and that translated into me being able to train. So while I was still learning from Chris Jones and Athlete X and all these guys, just doing the work to learn from these guys, Omar Esau, like tons of those guys. Even Scooby, you remember Scooby? Scooby was the guy that always wore like the Kango, like that little Kango hat all the time. He was like this big jack dude. he talked like this. And he's very, very proper. And man, this dude was a monster. And we was like, yo, how does this dude got a voice like that but to be such a monster?
Like a Mike Tyson type thing.
Yeah, it was a Mike Tyson. So what I would do is, as I'm studying all of that, I started to be like, all right, I think maybe that's another outlet, because I seen myself, even back then, I was at the job for 8 years. I would say 3 or 4 years in, I started to get into a point where I was like, man, this is kind of like at a standstill, and I didn't want to take any management position or anything. So I got into fitness like everybody else do. When the guys, it's like, I'm doing this for the ladies first. But then as you start to feel better, back pains, any of that stuff, it just starts to go away. And so I started to translate that into people I seen who would have issues with their fitness, being able to get up, get active. So I was like, let me try it out, man. So I started real freaking cheap at first. Like, I was training people for like $5 an hour. It was crazy. People was like, man, I wish
your foot in the door, right?
Yeah. People was like, I wish I would have known you back then. I was like, yeah, you would have got a hell of a discount.
That's a come up shit.
But I'm a different trainer from that time too. So that's how I got into it. I actually failed the ACE exam 2 times, so that was very discouraging. Then a buddy of mine who I know, his name is James, but he goes by J Plus Training. He was like, you got your certification yet? I'm all embarrassed. I'm like, nah, not yet. He's like, come on, man, we're going to Fort Lauderdale. Let's go. It's an 8-hour class. It's 2 days. I only need 1 day, but you can stay down here if you need to, or you can come back. And I signed up for the 2 days, and then I got certified master trainer and phase 1 and phase 2. So that was good, man, because I was like in doubt mode because I had failed that other test crazy. And the reason that I failed the test is because, especially when it came to the nutrition part, and we'll get into that too, they would come in and say, like, it was almost like a this is how it has to be situation. And I was, my mind was like, nah, man, no, that's not, there's so many different variables of that.
So put you in that box.
Right in the box, brother. So if you're not doing the box, they're like, nah, forget that, you can't do it. And I've proven that test wrong more than I can count when it comes to like nutrition and how it is when it comes to people and what they're able to eat and such. So that was what was hindering me at first, but I got certified after that. And when I was doing the job, I was still doing the job for like 2 years after that. Then I started doing it full time after the termination. And here I am now, making YouTube videos, steady clients for month to month, and on here with the big man.
So, what was the certification you ended up getting? You went with you started with ACE, and then you went to a different one, in class one.
Yeah, I went for the IAAA and ISMA is what that is, and it's basically they're well renowned. Like if you take them and you get certified for them, you can train at 24-hour fitness, LA Fitness. Like it's like certified across the board. It's well known.
They're well accredited and all that.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. The reason I ask is because you never know who's listening to this that might be in a similar situation with you. Like, hey, because there's different learning styles. Some people they can't learn with a book and reading some shit online. They got to be in class and actually do it. So It sounds like that option helps you a lot. So anybody listening, that's an option for you guys.
Absolutely. It really helped because what does as well is the ACE exam. They give you like an hour and 40 minutes, maybe 2 hours to take the test. So you kind of get rushed. And when you rush, a lot of times stuff snaps right out of your head. And so when I was getting rushed, I was like kind of like, okay, let me strategically, if I don't know this one in like a minute, let me go to the next one. And right there was putting it on you. When I was taking it in the class, he was like, take your time, man. We got time. Take your time with it. So it gave me more time to take the test and get it done correctly.
You know why they do that, right? Trying to get you, they want you to fail so they can charge you again.
Bro, it's like $500 a pop, man.
Yeah, 500?
$500. So the first test was like $499, so $500, and then the makeup was like $250. So right there, even if you fail it, they get $750 of your.
Bro, that's rent right there. What the fuck?
Man, it was out of control, bro. I was like, man, this is crazy. So I took a different route. My buddy was like, nah, forget that. Come on over here, man. He said, I've been.
That dude changed your life, huh?
Yeah, he did. He definitely did, man. He helped me out a lot.
When you first started working out, were you already like naturally fit, or is that why people were like, hey, you should be a trainer? Or you just were kind of dabbling?
Yeah, because even before, like I was Tony ain't gonna believe this one, but I was a pretty skinny dude back in the day. But I always had
Like me
the
now.
ability to I always had the ability to jump high, and I was pretty fast running. But I could literally jump on top of a Toyota Camry back.
So you were athletic.
Yeah, I was very athletic in that fashion. Okay. I could fight too because I had to stick with those bullies, man. Like in Texas, it was wild. So you didn't fight, you were somebody prey. So
you're from Texas?
Yes, sir. South Oak Cliff. South Oak Cliff, Dallas, Stovall area. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in San Antonio. So
okay, look at that.
Tejas in the house.
Look at that. No wonder we clicked when we went inside.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? People come into your life that are meant to be in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's why certain people, they vibe, they click. And like I said earlier, me and you click from the jump. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I was starting this podcast, I was like, oh, I got to get Kelvin on, because when I had the old podcast, the Barbell Life podcast, so many people, people be hitting me up, want to be on the show, and it's just trying to schedule, and like you were saying, back then my head wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to keep it all together, but one of my regrets is not having you on there because you got a good story. You know what I'm saying? And but we'll get into that. So you started out, and when you first started out, you were eating meat, you were doing all that, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I was. And
indeed. How long were you doing down that path before you switched to the vegan side?
So my mother, she was a pretty good cook, but we've been meat eaters forever. Womb, some coming out the womb. we used to eat heavy, steaks and things of that nature. But she was always really good about giving us veggies and such. So she was one of the ones that had the traditional plate. She would basically give us a fistful or so of meat and then have black-eyed peas, beans, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. So she always kept us pretty good on that. But when I used to eat everything under the sun, bro. Like Nacho Bell Grandes, everything.
Don't get me started with no Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
That was my first job. I love Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Me and Taco Bell had a toxic relationship. You hear me?
I think we all did.
I'll be showing up Taco Bell 2 a.m. in the morning. Hope they open. It was crazy. But I noticed one thing that I didn't pay attention to that I started to pay attention to now, because not only do I not do the meat, but I'm also gluten intolerant. And I've been gluten intolerant for a very long time, and I just never knew. I would eat cookies even without the milk. And next thing you know, a couple hours go by, I got to go to the restroom. And I never understood how it played on my stomach like that. And then
you probably just thought that was normal.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how it be.
Bro, it's crazy that you say that. We think that when we eat, if you're not popping your button off of your jeans,
we think that's normal.
Then it's just what it is. You didn't eat enough. You're wasting.
Going into a food coma.
Yep. It's so bad.
Know what? I'm glad you said that, because I started this raw diet thing. And I like to experiment, try things, and it's part of the journey, the evolution and stuff. But so I've been on this for almost 3 weeks, and the changes within a week, I was seeing changes, and it's more energy, more clarity. But not only that, it's hard to describe, man. I feel like we're all antennas, right? And we get signals, right? Being on this diet has really cleaned me out, literally and figuratively. I won't get into all that, but in this 3 weeks, man, I've got so much insight and so much enlightenment, and I it's I'm sitting here when did this? What's going on? Because it's just boom, 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 and I'm as soon as I started this diet, you know what I'm saying? People don't realize how they can feel because they're so used to feeling bad and having a full belly. Back in the day, I used to have a gut. When I first started working out, I didn't know shit. I was just like, I'm gonna lift a lot and I'm gonna eat a lot of
That's it.
food. So I was
That's
eating burgers, pizzas, yeah, and I got big quick, but that belly was like, whoop, and I was
100%.
drinking like a motherfucker too. So I had the gut. That was so hard to get rid of. But you walk around with your stomach extended and stuff,
Yep.
and you just think it's normal. And it's like I try to tell people like all these issues you got, the headaches, the brain fog, being tired,
Yep.
the eczema, whatever.
Yes,
It's
sir.
diet, and people don't want to hear it.
It all comes from nutrition.